guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be creating 3 farmhouse decor DIYs from thrifted items. I am going more for the French country farmhouse look rather than the typical farmhouse look. I have been absolutely loving all the French farmhouse, country French farmhouse decor. So I wanted to create that for my home as well. So the very first one I'm starting off with, before I mount my camera and actually get into it, I just wanted to show you because I'm going to take these and cut them. So I had picked these up at our restore and they say they were $2, but when I came to the checkout he charged me $4 each. So great score on those, and you see they're all a little different, and I had marked off exactly where I'm going to cut each one of them. I don't know if you can actually see it right there. So I'm going to cut them and I'm going to be making some candlesticks out of them. So I have a couple pieces of wood that I'm going to cut, and then I also have these wood cutouts that I picked up at your dollar store and more for $1.25. They are fairly thick. I don't know if it actually says what size they are. I don't see it. But anyway, so they are fairly, like, there's a package of 3 here and they're thicker. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use any of this, but I'm just going to pre-cut it just to, in case if I want to use it. So off I go to cut these. So here they are, and I had ended up cutting a piece off of this one because there was a ton of glue on there, and some of the it wasn't sitting right, so I just wanted to have a smooth surface so it sits right. And this one I had to sand just a little bit down because it had something on it, not quite sure what, but I didn't want to cut it. So they're all ready to go. You might want to, if some of it had chipped, just kind of clean it up a little bit with a sander, and I got my sander just at the dollar store. This little handy tool. I want to go back and pick up that small one that they have as well, but I haven't gotten that far yet. So I cut off the other ends, and they are now different size, which is what I wanted. Now, just to make it a little bit more sturdier when it's sitting up, I am going to glue these things to the bottom. And you want to kind of center it. And I'm thinking I might use wood glue and as well as the hot glue, just so I can actually work on them while the wood glue is setting in. And I'm going to do the same thing for the top. I'm going to attach the top to here because I like how thick, when it has that thick look for the candle to sit on, because like this it's not going to sit on. And I was debating whether I should do thick on the bottom and thin on the top, but I prefer the look the other way around. So the thick will go on the top, and the thin will go on the bottom. So I'm going to get started on that. Just want to make sure that my wood glue didn't dry out completely. I lost the little cap. Oh, it's fine. If you lose a cap, sometimes all you have to do is push out a little bit of glue and let it dry out, and then you just pop it off, and that kind of serves as a cap so it doesn't dry out all the rest of the glue. That's what I do. I just marked off so I can see where to add the glue. So I'm going to let these dry. That way I can, while I work on the other ones, and then I'm going to paint them once they had just some time to dry. So I'm going to repeat the same process for all of them. I would just like to mention that today's video is part of a hop that I am hosting, and I had invited 5 of my friends, very talented friends, to join me. And if you do not know how the hop works, is there will be a link for the next person for you to hop on over once you are finished watching mine. So make sure you check out that link in the description box, and once you are finished watching that one, check out their link, and so on and so forth, and eventually you will end up in my back at my video. So as you can see, I am painting it, but I'm not overly worried to get like that full coverage. I like that rustic look where some of the original paint does show, because you want to make these look old, not perfect. Watch your fingerprints, because I always seem to leave some on the paint. In projects like these where you're using 2 different colors of wood, I do love to blend my paint, so I'm using a couple different colors or maybe even wax, so that way that difference in like the pine and the dark color, it doesn't show as much. And now I'm going to paint my top that I just popped off. So while that one is cured back and curing a little bit, I'm going to show you this one. Now I'm going to repeat the same process for all the other ones. So now I'm going to try and apply white wax to this, but you can also do a dry brushing of white, which you will be able to see on my next project how to do that. But if you have white wax, then you can use white wax. If you don't, do the white dry brushing. And I am using Annie Sloan white wax, antiquing wax, and just a brush from the dollar store. And the brush strokes are very light, like I'm not pressing hard at all. There, and I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other 2. For this project, I had picked up this cheese board. It is it came from a PC, so I assume from our local grocery store, but I'm not gonna use this side. I don't think. I'm going to go on this side, and I'm going to paint it. For this, I'm going to use Cocoa from Annie Sloan. I have Chateau Gray that I'm contemplating on using, and White Original, which is kind of creamy white. Just making sure there's nothing sticky on it. I'm not going to be using this board for eating or anything like that. It's going to be for decor. I'm gonna go with the cocoa first. So that's about where I want it to be. It's just so nice to be able to pick up these pieces that might have ended up in trash and creating decor for yourself or as gifts for somebody else. I think one-of-a-kind gifts are always, in my opinion, best gifts, but I love upcycling old furniture, upcycling old pieces, because I think it just gives them brand new life. I'm just cleaning off my brush, so I'm going to use it again. Should really go out and get a couple more of these brushes. I do really love them. They come from Dollarama, but I love this size of a brush for these type of projects. So now I'm going to just fill in a little bit of Chateau Gray, but not too much of it. Just kind of thread it through here and there, just to give it a bit of a aged look. And doing it while the paint is still wet, it just blends it in a little bit and mixes it in. Now we'll let this dry before I apply the white, because I want to dry brush white, so I want it to be, this part to be completely dry. So this had some time to dry, and now I'm going to dry brush it with the white. And it's okay to go heavier in some spots and lighter in the other spots. There. I think that looks much better. For my next project, I picked up these bowls at a Value Village. I actually got that cutting board at Value Village too. These were $2.99 for two. And I'm going to paint them with my Annie Sloan Original. So I'm going to apply the paint. And then I'm going to brush it off. And again, I'm not going to be using these for food. I'm going to be using them for decor. Also want to mention, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, welcome. I'm so glad you stopped by. I do these type of upcycles very often. So if this is something that you enjoy watching, make sure you are subscribed and the notification bell is on, so that way you don't miss out any of my future uploads. So just so you see the look that it gave, I love how the wood kind of shows through. And I'm going to paint the inside as well. There, a very simple upcycle. And I'm going to repeat the same process for the other one. Well, I would like to thank all of you for watching this video. Make sure you check out the link in the description box for the next one in line. And like I mentioned, if you're not subscribed, make sure you press the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out any of my future uploads. So until next time, hope you guys have a wonderful day and thank you so much for watching.